Hey y'all, let's cover the unit conversion lectures. To begin with, I want to go over what these look like as far as how to use them. You're going to get different ones. There's this one for this class. If you happen to take my problem solving, my 1500 class, mine's a little bit different from this one. I'm trying to use this one since it's more in line with what you'll see across the board with any of the other professors. So you'll notice that anything that says US is strictly having to do with the United States version of things. It's not the metric system. It is strictly the imperial or the US system. We've got length and all the units that I'm representing there. We've got area, weight, and volume. Volume is how much something holds, like a cup, how much a cup holds. Weight is how much something literally weighs. I think we all know how that works. Area is how much something covers, what it takes to cover it, like carpeting on a floor. And the length has to do with measuring how long or how wide something is. Then I gave you the metric system, just some basic terms. And then the one we're going to use quite a bit is the UF to metric conversions. Now you can go in between these different things, but then once you get to say you need to have something that goes from centimeters to yards, then you're going to have to go centimeters to inch. And then you'll come up to the US where we live in inches, inch to foot, and then foot to yard. Look at this as though it's a puzzle. I'm going to show you exactly where to start, since that seems to be the part that students struggle with the most. Oh my God, I don't know where to begin. I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to show you how to start the problem. And then if you've ever done a puzzle, which I know we all have, of finding a way to get through to the end. Well, I'm going to show you what the beginning is, where the ending is, and then you need to find where they connect to get to that point. All right. The other thing you're going to be using is time. Here's the time that's available, as well as temperature. Here's the temperature. Would you go lay down? She's so needed today. Oh my gosh. You think I haven't been here all day. All right. So starting with the unit conversion problems. This is also, you may hear it being referred to as dimensional analysis. Dimensional analysis. Same concept. It's taking unit conversion, and it might not just be one for one. You might have to convert multiple things across the board. So here's how I would begin. If you're going to convert 3 miles to inches, all right, if you ever question, I don't know where to start, you start with what they give you. They're giving you 3 miles. This is where you start. And what they want you to convert to is where you want to end. You want to end up at inches. Now, going to our conversion chart here, we need to find miles. Now, this is only American. Is it miles and inches? So we're strictly living in US length. Here's miles. That's the only place I see miles. So I can get to miles to furlong, which isn't going to help me, or I can get miles to feet. I'm going to use this conversion. So I'm going to go miles to feet, and I'm going to write it just like this, because conversions can be used in different manners. So I just want to know what the conversion is. And then how can I get to inches? Well, I can go from foot to inches. Please notice I use MI for miles. If you just use M, that means meters. Please use the appropriate, I'm not going to get it. It's been a long day. Abbreviation. There we go. The appropriate abbreviation. So miles is, MI is for miles, and M is for meters. Be careful with that. So let's see, it's 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. I'm going to use these two conversions to get from miles to inches. You start with what you're given, 3 miles. We're going to do a couple conversions. All right. So many folks really struggle with understanding that this is over 1. If it makes it easier for you, go ahead and put it over 1. There will be a time where it won't be over 1, it will be over something else. like miles per hour. You would have miles up top, hours in the bottom. We're not doing that. We're strictly dealing with the miles to inches. So there's no unit down here. It's just the number 1, just to hold a place. Now, if you understand that 3 divided by 3 cancels out and gives you 1, right? 3 divided by 3 cancels out and gives you a 1. Well, you also know after our last section of this module that you multiply straight across for multiplication. So when we multiply, we're going to be multiplying straight across. And so something in the top can cancel out something in the bottom. This is why we want to start with what we're given and nothing else, because if we have miles up here in the numerator in the top, in order to get rid of it, we need to have miles down here in the bottom. You're going to notice that I do not do anything with the numbers until I get my units in place. So if I've got miles up top, I have miles down the bottom. So what can I go to? Which of these conversions can I use for miles? I can go from miles to feet. Well, I'm going to do that. I don't want feet. I want inches. So I need to get rid of feet by putting it down here in the denominator. So they will cross each other out. I can go from feet to inches. That is my goal. So that's where I want to be. Once I get them placed where the miles will cancel, the feet will cancel, I'm left with inches. Now's when I plug in my numbers. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. There's that conversion. And 1 foot is 12 inches. When you multiply, again, straight across, the miles are gone, the feet are gone, and we're left with inches. That's the goal. Multiplying across, 3 times 5,280 times 12 is equal to 190,080, and this is inches. This is all over 1, so therefore that is the answer. Because 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, so 190,080 inches is equivalent to 3 miles. Okay, convert 360 inches to yards. Same thing. We're going to come back over here and see how we can get from inches to yards. This is all American, so we're just living up here. I would like for you to see if you can find the conversions that we need to get from 360 inches. That's what we're going to start with. This is where we start. This is where we end. From inches to yards. Go ahead and pause the video and attempt this one yourself. See if you can work through this and then come back to see how you did. All right, so I've got inches to foot. 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. There's one conversion I'm going to use. And then I can use 1 yard is 3 feet. 3 feet is equal to 1 yard. That will get me from inches to yards. Remember, put this over 1 if it makes you more comfortable. Totally your choice, your choice. All right, inches up top, which means we need inches down low to get rid of it. I can go from inches to feet. All right, but I don't want feet, I want yards. So then we're going to go from feet to yards. Once I get these in place to where the inches will cancel, the feet will cancel, I'm left with yards. If you choose to do this on an individual basis, fine. That's perfectly fine as long as it works for you. I have found, and all of your science professors will show you this manner, this way to do it. I found that I make fewer mistakes. I really struggled with this in school. And since I've started doing it this way, I don't make mistakes. I just don't. It worked out wonderfully. So once you get it all laid out, you're going to plug in your 12 inches to 1 foot and your 3 feet to 1 yard. Again, multiplying straight across, your inches are gone, top and bottom, feet are gone, top and bottom, and we're left with yards. 360 times 1 is 360 for your unit. And then 1 times 12 times 3 is 36. Once you get to this point, you must divide. 360 divided by 36 is 10. And do not forget your units yards. 10 means nothing without the yards. Okay, if there's any questions you have on this that were not answered as I work through this, please write them down so I can cover them with you in a Zoom call or something. Convert 60 kilometers to miles. Well, now kilometers is metric. So we're going to come down here to where the US metric conversions are, and we're going to look for kilometers to miles. Oh, right here. Fantastic. It's only one conversion. 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. Once we know the conversion, I want you to now set it up. You're beginning, you always start with what you're given, and you always are heading to the end, which is what they're asking for. Set it up, work through it, and then come back to see how you did. Starting with 60 kilometers, over 1 if you need it. This is only one conversion to get from kilometers to miles. Kilometers up top, so I need kilometers down low, so they'll cancel each other out. Heading to miles. Once you get your units set up, you're going to plug in your numbers, 1 and 1.61. Remember, you multiply straight across. When you do that, kilometers are gone. You're left with miles. 60 times 1 is 60. 1 times 1.61 is 1.61. Do not leave it like this. The decimals and fractions do not go together. We need to divide. 60 divided by 1.61 is 37.267. So this gives me a chance to talk about rounding. I want to say we want to round, let's round to the 2 decimal places. So it's the 10th place, the 100th place, and the 1000th place. We're going to round to the 100th place. The 6 is my rounding digit. That number is either going to stay a 6 or it's going to become a 7. It's all depending upon what the number directly to the right, my test digit, is. If my test digit is 5 or greater, I add 1. Do not use the words round up. That doesn't mean anything. Use the words add 1 to your rounding digit. So this number becomes 37.27 miles. All right. If the number is 5 or greater, you add 1 to your rounding digit. If this number, your test digit, is less than 5, your rounding digit stays a 6, and then the other digits to the right go away. All right. Convert 1 week to seconds. Well, now we're going to be living over here in time. We need to be able to get from week to seconds. I've got week to days, days to hours, hours to minutes, and then minutes to seconds. You can only use the conversions that you are given here. You cannot go use Google to find your conversions. That's not going to work when you go to take your exam. I know it works for doing MyOpenMath, but if you don't get this down while I'm showing it to you and using these conversions for doing your homework, you're going to really struggle and potentially not do well on your exam. Okay. So I'm going to write down all my conversions I'm going to use for getting from weeks to seconds. So 1 week is equal to 7 days. There's 1. 1 day is equal to 24 hours. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And then the last conversion I need, I'm going to, oh yeah, my last conversion is 1 minute is 60 seconds. Now, I told you that M is meters and MI is miles. MIN is minutes. Okay. Now, you always start with what you're given, and we're heading to the end, which is seconds. So 1 week, we're going to use several conversions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 conversions. Put this over 1 if you need it. Week is up top, so we need week down low. I can go from week to days. Get rid of days. Goes to hours. Get rid of hours. Goes to minutes. Get rid of minutes and go to seconds. So cancels, 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 left with what we want to end with. So now we just plug in our numbers. 1 week is 7 days. 1 day is 24 hours. 1 hour is 60 minutes. And 1 minute is 60 seconds. Again, multiplying straight across, weeks are gone, days are gone, hours are gone, minutes are gone, left with seconds. 1 times 7 times 24 times 60 times 60, and that is 604,800 seconds, because this is all over 1. Okay. You have to have the unit. Otherwise, it has no meaning. The next one is converting 2 gallons to fluid ounces. Well, in this one, we're going to go look at our volume. And this is, again, US volume for gallons to fluid ounces. Now, there's 2 different types of ounces. There's OZ for ounces. That has to do with the weight, how much something weighs for ounces. There's also fluid ounces, which will tell me how much my cup will hold. So 8 fluid ounces. I think this one's more like 14 fluid ounces for this cup. And we want to be able to get from gallons right here to fluid ounces right there. And it's FLOZ, not OZ. All right. So I can get from gallons to quarts, quarts to pints, pints to cups, and then cups to fluid ounces. There it is right there. So that's what I'm going to be using as those 1, 2, 3, 4 conversions. 1 gallon is 4 quarts. 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 pint is 2 cups. And 1 cup is 8 fluid ounces. That will get us where we want to be. Always start with what you're given. We're given 2 gallons. Don't just use 1. We're going to use the 2, and we're headed towards fluid ounces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put this over 1 if you need to. Gallons are up top, so gallons down low, so it goes away. I'm going from gallons to quarts. Get rid of quarts. I'm heading to pints. Get rid of pints. I'm heading to cups. And then get rid of cups and head to fluid ounces. Once you make sure that these all cancel out, that means they're in the right locations, you can put in the numbers. 4 quarts for a gallon, 2 pints for a quart, 2 cups for a pint, and 8 fluid ounces for 1 cup. Multiplying straight across the top and straight across the bottom. Gallons are gone, quarts are gone, pints are gone, cups are gone. We're left with fluid ounces. Fantastic. 2 times 4 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 8, I don't know. 2 times 4 times 2 times 2 times 8 is 256. Now let's look at the denominator, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So fluid ounces. All right, last one on this page. A song is 3 minutes and 12 seconds long. All right. Would it be accurate to say that the song is 3.12 minutes long? Oh, let's find out. Well, the 3 minutes and the 3 are fine. So I'm just going to write 3 minutes. I don't need to worry about that. I'm not converting it. But the 12 seconds, the 12 seconds, I'm going to need to convert just the 12 seconds to see what that looks like in minutes. I need to convert this to minutes. So I'm going to look at my conversion part in my time. Seconds, there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. I need to get rid of my seconds. I'm going to write that 60 seconds is 1 minute. There's my conversion. And I'm going to put minutes up top. There's 60 seconds in 1 minute. Multiplying straight across, my seconds are gone. 12 times 1 is 12 over 60, and this is minutes. Now we just need to divide this. 12 divided by 60. Don't need to reduce, just divide. So that's 0.2. So this song is actually 3.2 minutes long. In any class you take in college, the professor, I promise you, I'm telling you the truth, the professor only wants you to answer the question. I'm providing you the question, would it be accurate to say that the song is 3.12 minutes long? No, that would not be accurate to say, because the song isn't 3.12 minutes long. the song is 3.2 minutes long. So that is what you need to say. Would it be accurate to say the song is this? No. The song is not 3.12 minutes long. The song is 3.2 minutes long. That's it. That is what I'm looking for. Answer the question. All right. 3.2 minutes is not an answer. It doesn't answer the question. You have to write a sentence, and you're going to have to do this in the next classes that you take to define what is the answer to the question. All right, move on to the next one. Oh my gosh, this dog. All right, you have a you have a single 2-liter bottle of soda left at a birthday party. Is this enough to give each of the 9 kids a cup of soda? Oh, let's find out. We're going to have to go from metric to American because liter is metric and cup is US. So I need to find a way to get from liter to cup. Well, I can go from liter to gallon, and it looks like I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to go from liter to gallon. So that'll get me to gallon, but how can I get from gallon to cup? You're going to come over here, and I want you to map this out. What does that look like? Map out what it looks like to go from liter to cup. Write down those conversions and then set it up. You always start with what you're given. We're given a 2-liter bottle. All right, just start working through them. Write all your conversions down. Pause the video and come back to see how you did. All right, I've got, where did it just go? 3.79. 3.79 liters is 1 gallon. And then I've got 1 gallon is 4 quarts. 1 quart is 2 pints. 1 pint is 2 cups. All right, that gets me to cups. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. If you didn't map this out, please pause the video and fill in this with at least just the units to where they need to go so that you end up with cups. You've got to get the practice in somewhere. Put this over 1 if you need to. I'm going to get rid of liters. Liters up top, liters down low. I'm going to go from liters to gallon. Get rid of gallons. Go to quarts. Get rid of quarts. Go to pints. Get rid of pints and go to cups. Okay. Once you get these set up to where they will cancel each other out properly, left with cups, plug in your numbers. 3.79 liters, 1 gallon. 1 gallon is 4 quarts, 1 quart is 2 pints, 1 pint is 2 cups. Multiply straight across. Liters are gone, gallons are gone, quarts are gone, pints are gone, left with cups. Fantastic. Multiply straight across the top. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. Times 2 is 16. Times 2 is 32. Don't forget your unit. And then 1 times 3.79 is 3.79. We just need to divide this. And that is 8.44 cups. Okay, I just did a quick rounding on that. Now, is this enough for each of the 9 kids to have a cup of soda? Well, there's 9 kids and each get a cup. 9 kids at 1 cup each. Is 9 cups. Do we have enough in 2 liters for 9 cups? No. So your answer is not 8.44 cups. Your answer is not 9 cups. Your answer is is this enough to give each kid 9 kids a cup of soda? No. No, 2 liters is not enough to give 9 kids a cup of soda each. I'm not judging your spelling. I'm not judging your punctuation. I'm judging the fact I need you to be able to communicate with me that you understand that this is the answer to the question in whatever manner you do. I don't expect it to be exactly like mine. Okay. Write down any questions you have. Units are important. I can't say that strong enough. The height of the Empire State Building is 1,414 feet. The height of the Eiffel Tower in France is 300.12 meters. And the height of the Oriental Pearl Television Tower in China is 92.8 rods, which is the tallest. I don't know about you, but I don't know what meters or rods look like distance-wise. I do know what feet look like. So I'm going to convert. I'm going to make them all the same unit. When you're comparing something, you want to make them all the same unit. Now, you don't have to do the same unit as me. You'll get the right answer if you convert everything to meters or rods. I do know I have some international students in this class. Feel free to go to meters. It will not hurt my feelings. I'm going to be converting everything to feet. I don't have to convert the Empire State Building because it's already in feet. It is 1,414 feet. The Eiffel Tower is 300.12 meters, and I need to convert it to feet. Let's see if we can figure out how to do that. So length, 3.28 feet is 1 meter. Fantastic. So I'm going to write that over here. 3.28 feet is 1 meter. I'm going to use that conversion. Meters up top, meters down low, going to feet. That's going to cancel, leaves me with feet. So now plug in my numbers. Multiplying straight across, meters are gone. 300.12 times 3.28 leaves me with 984.3936. And this is feet. And then the next one we want to do is the television tower. And it is 92.8 rods. So I need to find, I know that's up here, 2 rods is 11 yards. 2 rods is 11 yards, but that's not feet. Okay, so then 1 yard is 3 feet. That'll get me there. 1 yard is 3 feet. I'll be using these 2 conversions. I need to get rid of rods. I'm going to yards, get rid of yards, and go to feet. Cancels, left with feet. Cool. Plug in my numbers. 2 rods, 11 yards. 1 yard, 3 feet. Multiplying straight across. Put this over 1 if you need to. Rods are gone, yards are gone, left with feet. 92.8 times 11 times 3 is 3062.4. And this is feet over 2. So divide that by 2. And it's 1531.2 feet. Now the question is, which is the tallest? It doesn't ask anything about the numbers, but which is the tallest? We needed them all in the same unit so we could figure it out that it is the TV tower. So let's answer the question. Anytime you're given a word problem, the answer should be in sentence format. The tallest, I will go with the Oriental Pearl Television Tower in China is the tallest. Oh my gosh, this dog. All right. The next one is converting 80 degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. Now I gave you right here how to solve for Fahrenheit and how to solve for Celsius. Okay. If you take my problem solving class, I do not use fractions in there. I use decimals for this piece, but I want to go ahead and do the fractions because I don't know if you're going to have next time for the next class. So we're going to converting from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So that means we need to solve for Celsius. And that is 5/9 Fahrenheit minus 32. The Fahrenheit is 80 minus 32. Now we've done order of operations already. So 80 minus 32 is 48. All right. To do this, so many struggle with, oh my gosh, I don't know how to put this in the calculator. I got you. I got you. Put in 5/9 in your calculator. 5 divided by 9 equals. You're taking that number and multiplying it to 48 times 48 equals. That's it. Okay. If it helps, you could put this over 1. 5 times 48 over 9. You can do that too. There's so many different ways to do it. But our answer is 26.6 continuous. I want to round to the second decimal place. And that's going to be my rounding digit. My test digit is always the one directly to the right. If my test digit is 5 or greater, we don't round up because that doesn't mean a stinking thing. We add 1. We all know how to add 1 to something. So we add 1 to our rounding digit. And so the Celsius is 26.67 degrees Celsius. That is what it is. The next one is converting from negative 15 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So let's come back over here. Fahrenheit is 9/5 Celsius plus 32. So this is multiplied and then added. 9/5 times negative 15 plus 32. You have to multiply first. So 9/5, 9 divided by 5 equals, times negative 15. Here's where I need you to be careful. If you're using the TI-30X2S, actually any calculator, there is a separate negative key. You are never, ever, ever, ever to use the subtraction key as a negative. That is wrong. You're going to get an error, a syntax error, your calculator freaking out on you. This is your negative key right here. It might look different on your phone if you use that calculator, but this is it. It is never the subtraction key. So I'm taking that 1.8 that I got from 9 divided by 5 times the negative 15. And that's negative 27 plus 32 is 5. So this is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. I'm going to stop that and we'll make a new one here in just a moment.